Oh,
change
melanin.
civil
I
rights
thought you
is
said
an over.
melatonin.
Why I want to take this.
Melatonin.
Like, when I went into school and someone said like black people's skin pigments are made of melatonin, I'm like, so if I like cannibalize a black person, would I like fall asleep?
Hey guys, it's your boy, Mr. Krabz ASMR here. Oy vey. Introduce yourselves, fellas.
Alex, that means introduce yourself. Dude, I don't think you got. I'm the guest, and I'm taking this epic podcast more seriously
right
than you.
in front of me. Okay. Here, I'll do it right now. Hey, this is the other Alex, and I am standing right in front of this bed. I'm gonna lay down on.
What's up, guys? My name is Krabz. I'm the guest on this episode, and I'm honored to be here.
No, we can't. The guests can't introduce themselves. You have to let like the regular.
No. He can give his little 2-minute advertisement.
All right.
Okay.
Good. If we're gonna be doing advertisements, I'd like to advertise my new book. It's called "The Holocaust Was a Lie."
It's called Siege.
Well, I didn't write that, so that'd be plagiarism. I'm not a plagiarist. I'm a lot of things, Alex, but I don't plagiarize work.
Yeah.
This will be a lot of fun when you refer to both of us as Alex.
Well, how else would I refer to you? I want to treat you, my hosts, with respect.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm going to have a lot of fun respecting the two of you by referring to you as your names.
Yeah.
Alex and Alex.
What is your favorite way to commit suicide?
No, that's not it. Who would win in a fight? Okay? It's fighting time. All right, guys, say it with me.
Man,
it's fighting time. Say it with me, guys. It's fighting time. All right, don't say it with me. Who would win in a fight? Would it be Stephen Hillenburg? Would it be Stephen Hillenburg? Or would it be Stephen Hawking? Who would win in the afterlife, I mean?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Stan Lee.
Well, we got to analyze this first of all. So Stephen Hawking had like a very rare type of ALS. First of all, like most people don't get ALS until like they're fucking old and shit.
He didn't have ALS,
like,
he had
Stephen
cerebral
Hawking,
palsy.
Yeah. That's not what ALS
It was Stephen Hillenburg that had ALS.
No, you dumb fuck. Stephen
No,
Hawking.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
No, don't Google it, dude. Bing it.
Stephen Hawking had ALS.
No, I'm gonna use Internet Explorer.
There's no
I'll use Internet
question
Explorer
about
I have, or no, Microsoft Edge. That's what it's called. I use Microsoft
There's
Edge.
no question about it.
Okay, well,
My God.
without a doubt,
Look,
Stephen Hawking would win.
Look, I can summon Stephen Hawking right now, and he could tell you right now he had ALS. A to the L to the S. He had ALS.
He had cerebral palsy.
What kind of cerebral palsy like damns you to a fucking wheelchair?
That's exactly what cerebral palsy does.
I'm pretty sure that's literally what cerebral
That's
palsy
literally what
does, dude.
cerebral palsy
No,
is.
cerebral palsy is like when your arm is like bent like a right? No,
What
no,
is your,
I'm not
what is
kidding.
your IQ, Alex? Have you? All right, let's look this up. All right.
Look, like I know my IQ when I see it, and when it says 001, I think it's a.
No, when it says negative
let's
11,
skip
you
that
see
joke
it.
and what?
All right.
No.
What I'm gonna see. Hold on a sec.
I'm pretty sure cerebral palsy, like, yeah, it'll fuck up your arm, but it'll also completely cripple you.
Well, yeah, it like does it
Stephen
over
Hawking
time, so
did
you like
not have
slowly lose
cerebral
function of
palsy.
everything in your body.
No, I know this. I know this at the bottom of my heart. Stephen Hawking did not have palsy. You gotta believe me.
All right. Okay, he said. All right. You were right. According to him, at age 21, he was diagnosed with ALS. All right, you're right.
He had a very rare form of ALS. Look, see, I told you guys.
Yeah, that didn't kill him in 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he.
Who would win in a
What?
fight?
Okay, well, I've got the perfect argument here, Alex. You're gonna like this one. All right, so Stephen Hillenburg, you know, he was a cool guy. He made the best show ever made, but he didn't have any special retard powers. When he got ALS, he died. Right. So when Stephen Hawking gets ALS, he gets put in the wheelchair, and they say, "Oh, he's gonna die." No, he lives for like 40 more years, and he basically becomes a supercomputer. He's abandoned his physical form, and he can use mind powers. So with his mind powers, that's how he's going to beat Stephen Hillenburg.
Okay, but can you like prove that empirically?
Yeah, I can.
Well, you have to realize one thing. If Stephen Hawking didn't die to his ALS, that means it wasn't as powerful.
The ALS or Stephen Hawking?
Or maybe Stephen Hawking was just more powerful than the ALS.
No, I think his ALS wasn't super ALS.
I mean,
and that's why it didn't kill him, and that's why he didn't have the power. And that's why he would lose.
Well, no, but you got to think about it. He has special freakazoid mind powers because he's stuck in a wheelchair all day. So all he can do is like develop his mind and use the little computer. So he can use the computer to like develop machines on the fly. Like he can make his wheelchair fly. He can make it. He can develop like a targeting program for missiles. I think he'd win.
Yeah, but he also has like the wheelchair to like to meditate on, and like to direct that telekinetic energy toward like I guess a ball of some sort. I don't know what color it would be. Probably like black.
No, I think Stephen Hawking was an ocean blue kind of guy. That's the kind of aura I see from him.
But you guys aren't looking at the bigger picture here. Okay.
I wish.
You guys got to look at the bigger picture. Who has the more powerful disease? Whose disease killed them faster? Okay.
Stephen Hillenburg's.
Exactly. And if you go back to I think it was episode number 1, Alex said that his best strategy for fighting is dying. And who can die faster? Stephen Hawking or Stephen Hillenburg?
Kind of
Stephen Hillenburg.
So, going off of Alex's own logic, he would win because he could die.
Well, but Stephen Hawking is so intelligent, he could just like hack into his whatever's his like the life support that's keeping him alive and just shut it off, and he can just kill himself, and he'll die faster than Stephen Hillenburg.
No, but I think Stephen Hillenburg was very able-bodied, so I think like he maybe like pick up a gun. They have those in heaven. They have guns.
I would think so.
Hey! Who says that he goes to heaven? What if he goes to heck?
Well, I mean, let's think about this most likely. I'm assuming, like, I don't know what Stephen Hillenburg was. Let's say he went to heaven. That means he's never gonna meet Stephen Hawking.
No, but I think. So Stephen Hawking was an atheist, right? But like.
But here's the thing. He said God didn't exist, and he said Jesus was fake, so he went to hell. If we're going by that interpretation.
You mean Hades?
Hades, I'm sorry.
Some people call it hell, I call it Hades.
Yeah.
And if you get that reference, you get a free $10 gift certificate to Target.
Oh, yeah! Go get some of those plus model size bathing suits.
No. You buy whipped cream. And you do whippets in the dairy aisle while you avoid security.
Sorry, fellas, change of season. That whenever I do the kind of "oh yeah" voice, it hurts my throat.
No, I try doing voices. Like I try talking, and usually when I get really excited, I like talk like a fucking and like I get like really. I also have to talk like in a vocal fry when I try being serious, and that's obviously like a terrible bit, especially when I try meeting new people, like a fucking boss. Like I just got recently hired for a job. I'm not gonna talk in a vocal fry my entire time.
You need to speak in a Mickey Mouse voice.
You see, I've been having job troubles. I've been trying to get hired, and my best chance, they called me, but my phone was broken and I was getting it repaired when they called me. So I called them back. They called me back. I called them back. They told me that they would call. All right, so I'll set up the timeline. I think it was Sunday. They call me. My phone's being repaired. I call them back later on that night. They tell me that they will call me back the next day. So all Monday, I'm waiting for their call. They don't call me. Tuesday, I call them. They don't answer. So Wednesday, I call them. And what do they tell me? Sorry, we hired someone else.
That's a gamer loss.
So I would have got hired, but because my fucking phone was being repaired, I missed the call, and I lost out on the job.
Oh, that sucks.
But good news, I do have an interview coming up to be a pizza delivery driver.
Nice.
Oh, you're working for Pizza Incorporated?
Yep. I'm not going to say the company.
Yeah, Pizza Incorporated.
It's pizza. And it's basically all right. I'll give you a hint. If you're gonna order pizza, this isn't the pizza that you want.
Pizza Hut.
I'm not gonna say anything else. It's not the pizza that you want, though.
All right, so
DiGiorno?
Pizza Hut. Every time I
DiGiorno?
have Pizza Hut, I just indigestion. I have a lot of stomach problems, so I don't want Pizza Hut.
Oh no, my least favorite pizza has got to be like Domino's.
Well, my least favorite is Little Caesars. Like, Pizza Hut makes me sick every time I eat it, but I will say the pepperoni can be tasty. Little Caesars is just
fine if you
absolutely
like-
terrible. It's like eating
Yeah.
cardboard.
Yeah, but like Little Caesars is fine if you like what budget. I guess I have had.
I know people on low budgets, their homemade pizzas are better. Like,
Yeah.
that-
Homemade
there's no
pizzas will
excuse for bad
will
taste.
beat almost any pizza place. Unless you're going to
Yeah.
like a local. If you're going to one of the big chains anyway, homemade will beat it no matter what kind of homemade it is.
Yeah.
But if you go to like a local chain where it's just like that one pizzeria, like there's a place that closed down. They went out of business, but it was the best pizza I've ever had, and it was called Pizza Makers. That's all it was called, and it was the best
Oh.
fucking pizza, and they shut down.
That's a rip,
Oh.
honestly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, I went to a Catholic school, and I had like my meal ticket set up because for some reason, like I was in elementary school, so I liked the meals there because it was like kid stuff, and they make pizza, and like I hated the lunch ladies, but they were always rude.
Fucking tell us about the lunch.
They were ugly. They were ugly. They had like all these growths on their faces. Sorry.
Growth?
And I just really
They
didn't
had
like
one
them.
collective
They
face.
have fucking like little wiggling tumors on their faces. Like,
No, she is the lunch lady, and it's just a collection. Like their brains are one. They're a hive mind is what they are.
yeah, I have my.
But I got off topic. For some reason, whenever they served pizza, it was always in a square, and the pepperoni, it was just like these. Whenever you put sausage on a pizza, like how it comes in little like lumps. That's
Yeah.
what the pepperoni was. And it just came in like these squares. The crust wasn't hard. I don't know how I liked it. I think I just liked it because it was pizza.
So at my high school, one of the lunch ladies liked me. I don't know why. I don't know like in what way that she liked me. I don't know why she liked me. But she would always fucking let me cut in the line. She'd always give me the biggest piece of pizza. And she would like smile and wave at me whenever she saw me.
Was she old and disgusting?
She wasn't even like that old or that disgusting. I mean, she was still a lunch lady.
Yeah, so we can assume she's like 4 out of 10 or below.
Yeah.
Okay, but would you?
No.
You
I
would.
wouldn't.
Oh, like what's the turnoff?
The fact that she was like 40 years old, married, and black.
Yeah, 40-year-old and married, I would have done it, but black.
Nope.
That's the turn.
That's the straw that broke
So
the camel's
would've-
back.
would've- would, yeah, I would have cucked her husband, but frankly, I cannot do it with the the skin and the
I'm sorry.
melatonin. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm really not in the mood to catch some bestiality charges. So.
No. Well, if you move to Kentucky, it's legal.
All right. Well,
Oh,
but
yeah,
yeah, but
they
would you
won't-
really want
they
to do
won't.
it though? Like, Lord knows what you can catch from those things.
Yeah, alligator syphilis.
You could probably catch. Yeah, you could probably catch like some rare type of syphilis.
Yeah.
Someone caught AIDS. Someone got AIDS when they had sex with one of those.
I heard about that.
Gatorades.
Yeah.
Gatorades.
And then the epidemic started back in the 80s.
Fuck.
Like, this is definitely getting taken down because of what I said.
I would like it to make a confrontation. There hasn't been an episode of the Good Degenerate Collective for over a year. Why is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Literally for a year, we've wanted to do it, and for a year we've said I'll be the first guest on the show. But there's always one reason why we couldn't do it.
Honestly, I just boil it down to late. I was just very late. Like fuck.
I would like to give some context because we had a lot of trouble trying to free up our schedules and line everything up. And we finally lined it up one day. And I don't remember what day this was, but I remember I woke up early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And Krabz woke up early in the morning. And who didn't wake up early in the morning?
Okay, look, I'm sorry, all right? It's water under the bridge, I think.
And then what happened after that? We could never clear up the schedules again. And eventually, we just stopped trying.
I woke up like 5 minutes late, and I saw a message that said like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." I'm like, "Oh God, no." I tried opening it up. I tried contacting you guys, but you didn't answer. I was like, "Fuck, I'm too late." So yeah, that's one moment where I was like, "Okay, maybe this is it. It's not gonna happen again." Channel's dead. But then you contact me. We contacting each other like very intermittently, like throughout the year until like very recently. You were just like, "Hey, want to do another episode?" Or I don't know if it was you that contacted first or that you contacted.
Someone contacted someone. I think you contacted me like you do randomly. Just like once every few months, you would just send me like a meme or something.
Yeah.
And then one of the times I was like, "Hey, we're getting the podcast back together," and it just so happens that our guest here was available at the same time that we were going to do the next episode.
Yeah, it's like the Earth.
Well, you're lucky. I was gonna do I had something going on, but then the person canceled literally today, so we're good.
Yeah.
It all worked out.
It all worked out.
All of it.
We're more than a year late.
Year and some
Your mom was a year late for
Your mom was too late to get you aborted.
You can't say the M word in this call. You're not allowed to.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now, let me tell the story. It was 1999. My mother suffered from depression.
I'm sorry.
My father is a member of the NRA. My father owns upwards of 30 firearms. My mother had access to these firearms and severe depression, like my buddy Piezuri. Hashtag make Piezuri proud. So my mother grabbed a handgun, went up to the fucking guest room, and shot herself in the head. On 9/20/1999. I was born on 7/23/1999. You're not allowed to say the stinking M word in this call, or I'll have your gullet on a goddamn pike. That's been story time with Mr. Krabz ASMR.
Alright. I mean, we could decide whether we that in or not.
So now that's a good segue, guys.
No,
it's Segway time. It's Segway time, guys. Hop on your Segway. Vroom vroom. Start speeding off. Paul Blart Mall Cop edition. Because we're moving on to the topic of suicide. Now, last episode, we talked about the best way to commit suicide. This time, we're going to talk about the best reasons to commit suicide.
Or we can not talk about this.
You never want to talk about my topics, Alex. What's wrong with you, Alex? You never want to talk about my topics, Alex. I guess me and Krabz will have this conversation. Would you like me to call you Krabz?
You can call me. Yeah, sure. That's fine.
It's whatever you would prefer. You're the guest.
You know what? You're the host.
And you're the... Alright, Krabz, what is your favorite reason for committing suicide?
I'd probably say the impending doom. That's like literally right around the corner. All the good in the world is slowly being sucked away. I mean, it seems like every day we're either on the verge of a total societal collapse or a nuclear war. Everyone's just about ready to attack each other. So I think
you know why there's going to be a nuclear war, right? Rape has some uranium. If you didn't know.
This feels like a low budget.
Oh my god, he actually got his... Alex, are you kidding?
No, I don't know if he actually does.
Oh, I was gonna say...
Dude, I'm actually gonna shit my pants if he gets his hand on
something. If he gets uranium, he's gonna make a dirty bomb.
We're fucked if he does.
Oh yeah.
Or
at least the state of Florida is.
Now, Alex, are you familiar with AWD?
All-wheel drive?
Yeah.
The all-wheel drive division.
Yeah. Alcohol, Wacko, and Angus.
Because I think that'd be an interesting little topic to delve into. Since Alex doesn't want to talk about suicide, we can instead talk about a neo-Nazi group.
Yep, a neo-Nazi terrorist group. All right.
Now that's
Alex,
the one I want to talk about.
So basically, Alex, it's this group of it's these group of guys. You know, they were like a militia at one point, and they read a book called Siege, and they talked to these guys in a group called the Temple of Blood, and now they want to start a global nuclear war. And they also hate literally every other race that's not white.
If you're not white, and I guess
they
a
also
Satanist.
Support North. Yeah, if you're not white, a Noctulian, and you haven't read Iron Gates, you haven't read Siege, then you're just subhuman to them. I've read a little bit of Siege. I haven't read Iron Gates.
I've read some of Siege. It's on my list, you know.
Like just because of the meme, honestly.
I want to see what all the fuss is about, you know.
Yeah, I've read Siege. Now I want to make a fanfiction Siege.
Yeah, I want to make a fanfiction of James Mason.
Mason X Manson fanfiction.
Well, let's be honest. That probably happened.
It probably did.
He probably snuck out a conjugal visit with Charlie.
So would you like to tell the story about the pillow? What not to do with uranium?
Oh, right. So, what not to do with uranium you stole? Okay, now again, I probably got some of the details fuzzy because you know this one of the stories bouncing around. So Adam Waffen has had 3 leaders. One you've probably heard about in the news because he's the guy that he converted to Islam, and then his friends that he was his roommates made fun of him for it, so he killed all of them, and then he went to prison for it. But there was and now the current leader is a guy named Rape, and he's just completely insane. Like he is nothing of value goes on in that head of his. And but the first leader was he was quite the guy, honestly. He had the whole plan worked out. Don't know what his name was. I've probably heard it before, but I trust me, I'm more focused on the story. So, you know, he managed to get his hands on some uranium, which the average citizen is not supposed to have. Because, you see, the main goal of the Adam Waffen division is a global, well, you know, nuclear civil war, nuclear global, whatever. They just want to nuke everything and start over because they think that's going to fix all of our problems. So, what he wanted to do, he got this uranium, and he's like, all right, I'm successful, you know, stage 1 completed, but where am I going to put it? Because you see, he needed to make a dirty bomb, but he didn't have everything he needed. He just had the uranium. So he thought of like a safe place to keep the uranium, which, you know, you need to keep it safe so no one stumbles upon it. The dog didn't eat some of it. So he decides, all right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it under my bed. I'm going to keep this uranium under my bed.
Now, why is that a bad idea?
Well, you see, eventually, our friend was, he was found out by the police because, you know, that's something that people tend to look into when uranium, like military-grade uranium, goes missing. So they track him down to his house and they arrest him, and it turns out he has stage 4 brain cancer. He slept practically on top of the uranium. Okay, and something really funny that you'll notice for a while, like what made people, you know, normally you'll see like a group claiming they have stuff on the internet all the time, and these guys were no exception. They said that I mean, you got to understand, I followed them as long as their website was up and as long as they had public like social media, like they had a YouTube channel for. I don't actually like these people, so I'm not gonna like get myself in trouble going through all these hoops to, you know, stay up to date on all the lore. But for a while, their big thing that made people notice them was they were saying, "We have weapons grade uranium. We are going to make a dirty bomb. We are going to use it." Well, it got to a point where eventually, they stopped saying that. You'll notice that suspiciously went away.
I wonder why.
Yeah, you know, and I'm just saying, maybe if your plan, you know, is just to annihilate everyone, the dirty bomb,
Oh, it's like one
Don't
like
claim, don't
gigantic lump of-
openly claim to have uranium.
Yeah, probably not a good idea. Even if you don't have uranium, don't openly claim that you do.
Yeah, because even
call it
then,
by
like,
like a
you're still
code
gonna get
name.
shut down.
Yeah, call it like a code name. Call it like a fucking a dinosaur jizz. Like,
But yeah,
hide it
dude,
inside
Adam
of
Waffen
like
has
a.
had a lot of really, you, wait, Alex, have you heard? Did you hear about the guy? He was at like a college campus, and then he killed a Jewish kid named, or gay Jewish kid named Blaze Bernstein. And now his defense claims that he was sexually confused. That kid was an Adam Waffen.
Yep.
And that's what made like, and the news actually did a special. I don't remember who, but I saw like a clip of it. They actually did a special about them. Very brief, but it was there. And but I love how after like the one guy killed all his roommates for making fun of him for convert. That's another thing. They claim to love white people and everything and all that and all your save Evropa, and they LARP as traditionalists when they aren't. They're Satanist
and
nihilists.
Skeleton Men.
Yeah, and Skeleton Men.
If you ever played Black Ops 4, if you unlocked the Grim face paint during the Halloween event, that's what Adam Waffen looks like.
And if you play as Annihilator, except I don't think they let women in. I doubt they would, at least.
Not many white supremacist or white nationalist groups do let women in. I figured they'd take as many members as they can get, but apparently not.
The ones that, probably all the ones that aren't on a watch list, I'd say. If they're on a watch list, it's safe to say that they could pose legitimate threats. They probably don't have any women. They're all talking about all this pro-white stuff and everything. But they think Islam is based and it's better than Christianity. And the funny thing is, most of these guys aren't even Muslim. They're all like legitimate Satanists. They read books like Liber 333, like Anton LaVey stuff, and it's just their theology is completely idiotic. It's really really evil. Like I don't really call things evil, but they are evil is what their whole ideology is. But so this one guy, he converted to Islam. And he killed all of his roommates for making fun of him. So that's 2 leaders gone. So their current leader, it's a guy named Rape. And I remember right after this happened, someone leaked the Discord, and it was him in Discord with just the name Rape, and he was saying they think they can stop me. They can never stop Rape. I will rape the system for everything it's worth. And it was just in all caps. And it was just it's just one of the best reactions I think I've ever seen. And there are pictures of him floating around on the internet because people know who he is now. And he had I saw on YouTube someone actually uploaded what was supposed to be him, I think, talking. And he was just saying all this, like, I don't know. I listened to it for like a minute and I thought, this is stupid. This is really gay and stupid. So I turned it off. Yeah, but these guys, like all these Adam Waffen folks and the people involved with them, they're just really odd bunch of individuals. The whole Noctulian thing comes from the Order of the Nine Angles. Yeah, O9A, Order of 9 Angles. Yep. And, the Temple of Blood division of it, which is Satanist, But the Noctulian, that's like what they call themselves. And it's like what you have to do to become a Noctulian. Yeah, I should have mentioned this. Adam Waffen has a reputation for killing homeless people. That's because to become a Noctulian is like the final right. You have to kill someone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just really evil stuff. That's why I to put it, and that they also want to destroy the United States. So to be quite frank, I'd have them hung as traitors.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just without a doubt, like they're.
We won't really get into the politics, but I think it's safe to say that even if you are a white supremacist who hates anyone that isn't white, you should still not be on the side of Adam Waffen division.
These guys aren't doing you any favors.
They really aren't.
Like it's bad optics. They make you look even worse than the public already perceives you. They're probably gonna kill you too because they'll purge you because you're probably doing something they don't like. They're just.
If you survive the nuclear fallout.
If you survive. Well, they might just purge you before. Like you join and they say, sorry, we don't, you aren't, I'm afraid this isn't going to work out. They aren't going to just kick you out. They're going to kill you.
It kind of sounds like the mafia kind of like mentality.
It's like the mafia if they did nothing for you and they wanted to blow you up.
I suppose you could say maybe it's a really esoteric, satanic version of the mafia. Then, you'd be maybe on the way. Because it's like they have all this organization, but they have none at the same time. Because here's the thing. A lot of these guys are some of the dumbest people you'll ever meet. Like, these guys are idiots. Everyone, and then there's like the British Atomwaff, and it's called Social Revolt Act. I don't know. It's something stupid like that. They're a terrorist group too. Their leader got arrested because he had all of his gear in a bag with him at an airport. Yeah. Yeah.
At a fucking airport?
Yeah, at an airport in Bongland.
Jesus Christ, is he retarded, dude?
They all are, dude. I'm telling you. And then,
that just blows me away that someone would think that they can get through a fucking airport with a bag full of, I'm assuming, weapons?
No weapon. No, it was just all of his skull mask, and everything. They opened it up, and it had he had military camo. They opened it. They said, "You're not a soldier. This is related to this terrorist group. You are going to jail." And then he said, "Yeah, I'm the leader." It kind of plays in with the white Juche joke that we have on that I have running with a bunch of people on my Discord server. They literally were siding with North Korea. They think that base North Korea, since it has no Rothschild or Jew-controlled central bank, it's like this perfect. I should probably clarify. I don't mean that's a bad thing. I'm not trying to disparage any of the Semitic people watching the video. I'm just stating a fact. Most of the central banks are owned by members of the Jewish race. It's not racist to say that.
And do you want to explain to the normal friends why you say race when you say Jewish?
Oh God.
I think that, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious they're
We can cut this out. We can cut this. It doesn't need to be. The Jewish. I think we mean the Jewish animals. So.
Oh
no,
my
but
God.
Seriously, I think when you call someone a Christian, you don't call them they call them like an ethnic Christian.
Well, but they're the Jewish, there is a Jewish race.
Yes.
And it's not just
it's not only a religion, there's an actual race.
It's an ethno-linguistic religious group. Meaning that there is a language and a race tied to it along with a religion.
When you're an atheist, that was part of a Jewish background, you're an atheist.
Well, yeah, but when you're an atheist with a Jewish background, like Karl Marx, for example, he was still ethnically Jewish. That's where the term atheistic Jew comes from.
Or secular.
Yeah, or secular Jew, because you're still an ethnic Jew, and you have that tie to Israel. That's where birthright comes from. Is the whole thing over there is they say every Jewish person has a right of return. So it's the argument that it's not a race or that it's just a religion, that's just patently false.
I never really thought of it that much like that. I always thought of it it's a religion, but then people tie it off as a race. But I guess if you explain it like that, it kind of.
Yeah, and of course there are two groups. There's Hasidic, which is desert. It's just an easy way to put it, desert. And then there's Ashkenazi, which it's ironically pronounced Ashkenazi, and it's the European Jews.
Mm. So.
And they're the ones that people say have big noses.
Are there any more things that you would like to say, or can I move on to the next topic? I don't remember if you finished what you were saying.
I feel like we're really skirting the edges of what YouTube is going to allow here.
Yeah.
Talking about
because it's run by Google, and I'm pretty sure the YouTube CEO is one of those people that you can't really talk about these people,
Hmm.
I mean, I just think it's a pretty funny coincidence that. Well, I'm not going to get into it. We won't get into the JQ this episode.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Let's not.
So I'd like to move on to the next topic. I recently discovered I do not have a gag reflex.
Oh, how'd you find that out? I wonder.
I could just disable. Yeah.
Okay. So I was talking to a grill, and she was like, "Oh, I have a really weak gag reflex." And I don't remember how it came up, but it wasn't even in a sexual way, like you would think it would come up.
Oh yeah, because it would have been a man.
Well,
I was
like,
just like, they were like, I have a really weak gag reflex, and I was like, so do I. And then I tested it, and I was like, wait, what happened to my gag reflex? I can reach my fingers as far back into my throat as you can get your fingers, and I do not gag. Like, I can touch the back of my throat and start sticking it down.
I have a question. Was this conversation intended to be romantic in any way?
No, it just like somehow came up.
Oh,
I think she gagged while trying to eat. And I was like, how the fuck did you gag? She's like, oh, I put the fork too far down or some shit. Like, you're like the spoon or some shit. So I was like, I don't have a gag reflex. Well, no, I was like, I have a really weak gag reflex too. And I tested it and I was like, wait, I don't have a gag reflex. And I can put my fingers as far back as they can go before it gets stopped by my teeth. Because I can't open my mouth wide enough to fit any more of my hand into it.
But like, I have a question. Like, are you like closing like your left thumb while you're eating? Because that's usually what I do when I'm a picky eater. Like you can get me like near like a sausage. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then you can give me like a plate of rice. I'll be like, this is disgusting. But like, I usually close my thumbs, my left thumb. Like I press down on my thumbnail, so that when I eat, I don't gag. Is that like what you're doing?
What?
Are you pressing down on your left thumb so that you can disable your gag reflex?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing that works.
Well, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, I do it like all the time when I'm like doing eating that shitty food. It works a lot. Works wonders.
I didn't know that was a thing. No,
How do you do this again? I kind of want to try it. You pinch your left thumb. Is that it?
Yeah, like you squeeze your left thumb, like, and then you stick your finger down your throat and you won't gag.
And I'm gonna test this out to celebrate.
Okay, well, get near a trash can just in case you botch it.
I'll test it out, but without squeezing my thumb, and you might be able to hear some good ASMR. Because I don't have. Have I ever showed you this?
No.
I've never showed you this because I discovered it like almost a month ago.
I don't think you have.
Well, it's your lucky day, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. My lucky day.
That's the sound of me pressing down on my tongue to get it further down into my throat.
Oh god.
But yeah, I don't have a gag reflex.
Alright, but let's try this. Alright, I just stuck my finger down into my throat, nothing happened.
Not try it without it.
I mean,
you already oh no, it was your tongue. Oh god, I really don't want to try it, I'm gonna be honest. I'm very full. Had a lot to eat today.
Yeah, I wouldn't try it.
Yeah, we're gonna assume that, because I still didn't gag and I was squeezing my left thumb, so we're gonna assume Alex was telling the truth for now.
For now, yes. Remember, you're just special like me, and you don't have a gag reflex. You know, a lot of women would be jealous of that. The one female viewer that we ever get in like 10 years that stumbles across this video, do you have a gag reflex, and are you jealous of my lack of a gag reflex? Leave a comment down below.
I might be able to get 2 more femoids to watch this video.
Ooh.
We might get 3 in total. Now that's really something.
Hey, it's not November anymore.
That's really something. I gotta say, I'm happy for you guys. You know, you might get 3 vaginoids to watch your video. Listen to the podcast.
Okay. Shit, man. So would you like to take a moment to plug your YouTube channel now that we're about halfway through? Or I don't know how long we're going for this, but would you like to plug your YouTube channel real quick?
Right, so yeah, since I never did that, my YouTube channel, it's called
Link
Krabz.
in the description.
Yeah, in the description. It's called Krabz. It's really esoteric kind of comedy. Some of you, I think, are too low IQ to get it, so I don't think you're going to understand it. Which is fine, you know. I mean, I'm just one of the higher caste of society. I'm up there with the Brahmins. You know, I make really intelligent videos that the normal man just can't understand. That's why people like Alex enjoy my videos, because we're just of a higher caliber than the rest of you. If you didn't pick up on it, that's the kind of post-ironic humor that I try to get away with all the time, and it doesn't work out too well for me.
And
yeah.
I've been in, I think, one video, even though I've recorded parts for like 4 videos.
Yeah, and those just never. Do you remember the Christmas special that I was doing? And you didn't answer?
I don't remember that. I do remember a podcast. That was the first time we ever spoke. I remember.
It was really weird because that's back when I was a commentary channel and I was gonna make fun of all these people who were starting their own podcasts.
Like us.
And the joke was going to be that I was just kicking off hosts because I didn't like them or they weren't doing what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to this point where it was you and someone who used to draw some art for my channel. And you just joined on there, and I remember the first thing you said was, I think we should deport all the Muslims.
See, my part probably would have been the best part. I think that was some of my like best comedy that I've done for you anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything's been downhill from there. Like our fucking YouTube shooter, that was so bad, but it was so good.
It was really bad, but really good at the same time.
And we still have to look for the new ASMR bubbles.
Yeah.
Or not bubbles, KK the new KK ASMR.
Yeah, do you remember when we read the story about the killer squirrels?
Oh god. You mean black people? 'Cause that's what it was really about.
Yeah.
We're just reminiscing. I'm sorry, Alex. Wait, Alex, is your name Alex or Alexander?
It's Alex. It's been like Alex.
Okay, my name is Alexander, so you can call me Alexander for the rest of the podcast.
Oh, well,
okay,
this
so we'll
is
call
like
you Alexander.
That way, there's no confusion. Alright, guys. Awooga! Awooga! Real gamer alert! It's hashtag make Paizuri proud time, guys. If you guys don't know, Paizuri is not only is Paizuri a Japanese, I believe, word for tit fuck, but it's also one of the best old school RuneScape players out there. He's going through a tough time right now, guys. Paizuri needs our help. He needs our gains. We need to get as much EP, that is EHP, EP, efficient hours played on old school RuneScape as possible. We need to make Paizuri proud of us. Okay, guys? We need to make Paizuri proud. And the only way we can make Paizuri proud is by getting these gains. He's been going through some depression. He can barely get out of bed. He can't live stream anymore. He can't play the game anymore. We need to make Paizuri proud. Hashtag make Paizuri proud. Get those gains, fellas. Sorry, I was paid to do that. Yeah, I just did my advertisement for the Make Paizuri Proud Foundation. You need to get as much EP, that's EHP, it's pronounced EP. My good buddy Seth told me about that. He leads the Obesity Boys in battle in Fantasy EHP. And I'm not obese enough to join, but someday I will join the Obesity Boys.
Why is there a Fantasy EHP team? Can't you just play RuneScape and waste your own life?
You know, like fantasy football? RuneScape has Fantasy EHP, where you draft players who you think will get the most EHP out of anyone for that week. You didn't know about this?
Fucking meta.
No, I did. You told me a lot of really autistic stuff about the RuneScape community.
Well, this is #1 on the autism charts of the RuneScape community. It's it's Fantasy EHP, and I unironically like follow Fantasy EHP, and it's Winter EHP going on right now. And I won't be able to name all the teams. I'll tell you that right now. But I know there's the Sophamen Seagulls. I don't even know how to pronounce the fucking like Sophanem. I don't even remember. There's the Obesity Boys. There's the Priftinus Box Traps. Who else is there? Brimhaven Bread Getters. Let me look it up. You gotta go to Crystal Math Laboratories, or Crystallized Mathematicians Laboratories, or Crystal Math Labs for short, old school tracker. So there's the Arzenian Guardians, the Sophanem Seagulls, the Jigig Jostlers, Obesity Boys, the Priftinus Box Traps, the Brimhaven Bread Getters, the Devils, and the Ionian Icians, whatever, dude. I can't pronounce that shit. But the highest efficient hours on any team is with the Guardians, and they have 1,841 efficient hours on the entire team. And the lowest is, it looks like it's on the Icians, however you say that. It's 1,381. And it's been going for, 4 weeks are complete? So in 4 weeks, 5 players on each team. Yeah, that's a lot of hours.
That's too many, honestly.
I'd like to see who's the star player of this competition because I actually don't remember.
So I have a question. How popular is this?
It depends on who you ask. If you're looking at just your everyday RuneScape player and you ask them what fantasy EHP is, they don't even know what EHP is, let alone fantasy EHP. But if you go to any player that's maxed, they know what it is, and they probably follow it. And I don't know how many max players there are, but there's a few thousand.
Okay.
Like probably 5,000, I'd guess.
All right.
So it's fairly popular.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to talk about. All right, so because you're my gracious host, and I I'm coming on to your show.
You can't post something like that in the chat and just expect me not to.
Yeah, like I saw that. I can't post it on the screen either, so they don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Alex, describe what I sent to the chat.
Will description do justice?
Describe what I sent.
You go ahead and describe it, Krabz.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's the Big Bang Theory.
It's the Big Bang Theory, and it's like a screenshot taken from some type of internet porn video. But the faces on the people have been photoshopped to be the faces of Sheldon Cooper and Penny. Now Penny Hofstadter, if you're keeping up with the lore.
Yeah, he's knocking on her back door. If you tell me.
Yeah, I bet he's knocking and he's saying Penny
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. 3 times, just Penny.
Okay, that was a little.
I'm sorry.
Hopefully,
I remember the episode. Well, because you see, I have a Sheldon gag that I do in my channel. After one night, I looked it up because I had like a 40-minute stream joking about Big Bang Theory and talking about like the religion of Sheldon. And so what I did, like literally right after I ended the stream, my friend said, Krabz, I need you to look up and see if Big Bang Theory porn is a thing, and I found it, and it was a Photoshop picture of Jim Parsons, the guy who plays Sheldon naked, and it was one of the most just sickening things I've ever seen. And so yeah, that's been a gag on my channel because that made me feel genuinely sick when I saw it. I also sent it to every group chat that I was in at the time. So Alex probably saw it at one point.
Possibly. It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible because like what it is. It's like communities that, like these middle-aged women who were addicted to boxed wine and Xanax and have like 12 cats go to, where they pay people to Photoshop faces of the sitcom people they like onto porn actors and actresses. I'm sorry, because we know sex work is real work. For both sexes, we're all about equality and libertarianism and egalitarianism here on the Good Degenerate Collective.
Yes.
That's why
hey now, because Alex tells me not to get political. No politics in this chat.
No, I forgot about the rule.
None
At all. You're right. Well, but we're on the right side of history though, because we're talking about how equal we are and egalitarian we are. So we're on the right side. Of
Our
history.
strength.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that, Alex. But
it's our strength.
I'm sorry.
What is our strength, Krabz?
Diversity.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, so that's what you're seeing on the screen.
Hey, I have a good idea. I can tell you guys about my upcoming rap career.
Oh yeah.
Now, as you guys know, I'm dropping out of community college to become a rapper. You guys laugh, and that's very rude. Would you like a sample of my rap?
Yeah, I'd love a sample.
Okay, should I freestyle or should I read something that's written down?
The next Post Malone.
Yeah, you should freestyle. I'd like to hear that.
I should freestyle.
Yeah.
All right, somebody give me a beat.
Okay.
Did you just mute me?
Yeah.
It said I stopped. I just stopped talking when I made that noise.
No, I didn't mute you.
Okay. Well, then in that case, let me go back. I'm gonna lay down your beat. All
right. This is a song I like to call 9-6. Do you get it? Because 6-9.
I get it.
Do you get it?
Hey, did you say that he's got like 25 years in prison?
Yeah. I don't think he's been charged yet.
Well, I know he went to court and he sat down. He said, "Hey, Joe, I ain't got no time for this. Tell me my sentence."
No, he sat down in court and he said, "You stupid." All right, here it is. Feeling spiffy, kitty on my stiffy, Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Because he spanked like a 13-year-old girl on the ass.
I love
so he's feeling spiffy, kitty on my stiffy,
Well, he did a lot more than just smack her on the ass.
Well, I don't think he got sex from the kid, the kid. But I think the kid gave head to his buddy while he was slapping her on the ass on stage.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Was it him? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but the judge. I don't think the judge should have let him off.
I think he should be beaten to death.
Yeah, there are a lot of things where I'll say if someone's young, maybe give them a second chance. Like with drugs, when you're an adult, I think that's like a punish. But if you're a teenager, you try drugs, you get caught. I think that then you deserve a second chance because you're just a kid. And with kids, there are a lot of different factors, and you can't make full decisions, which is why I'm against a lot of things that people are trying to push on teens. But when you're no one can ever be so out of their right mind. I can't. You can't pin something like doing a sexual act on a child when you were an 18. You were an adult, a legal adult at least. No, yeah. There's no excuse for that. Dude, what was I gonna do? I was so drunk. No, that's whenever personal responsibility is shifted onto you.
I completely agree.
All right, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. I hate 6ix9ine, and I hate people that try to defend stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not really called for to do that anymore.
I think the age of consent should be lowered.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds a lot like Monkey Jones. Remember his review of some great shows.
Yep.
Hey Alex, have you ever seen a really good anime called Boku no Pico?
Oh, I have a really good story about Boku no Pico. I actually watched it with two other guys.
It better be fucking amazing, because I want to drop this topic.
Okay, so I watched Boku no Pico with two other males, okay? And I at first did not know what it was, and neither did they. None of us knew what it was, but we saw this YouTube video where this guy's just freaking out about the show. So we're like, hey, we're going to watch this. So we click on episode 1. And
what did you think?
We click on episode 1, okay? I'm going to give a quick rundown of the show. So there's this one girl who's changing on an island or some shit, and some creepy guy's spying on her. And then he buys her an ice cream. And then in the car you find out, the ice cream spills on her clothes or something. So the old man takes them off because he wants to fuck this girl. It's not a girl.
What?
It's a boy. And then, like a rational human being, he says, "This is fine," and he follows through. And that's pretty much the first episode. The second episode, the little boy meets a little girl. It's not a little girl, it's a little boy.
Yeah.
And the little boys have gay Shota sex. Now you go to episode 3.
The full episode. It's really harrowing to hear about this.
Now you go to episode 3, and they find an actual girl, and she had purple hair or something, and she has a house, and she has all types of toys, and there's a roller coaster that they all go on, and then the two original, the first two characters, suck each other off behind the roller coaster in public, and then they go back to the house, and they think that they're gonna get laid with this woman, but actually, no, the girl is another boy. What? So there's 3 boys now, and they have an orgy, and then some weird shit happens, and it becomes a weird fever dream-esque bullshit, and I don't even know what the fuck happened. It was weird. But we watched the entire thing for some fucking reason. We didn't stop at 1. We watched all 3 episodes.
Because you guys Loved it.
I'm gonna be totally honest. The people who made that really need to be arrested.
I believe so.
Not in Japan. Not in Japan. I mean.
Okay, well maybe that's a problem with Japan. Maybe they need another lesson.
TikTok! It's siege o'clock!
Could you scream a little loud? Not.
I love posting that fucking picture in all my group chats. I just post that picture like every week at least once.
Yep. But yeah, I'm glad that I can say I've never actually watched an episode of Boku no Pico. I've watched someone review all 3 episodes. I think it was
a fortunate boy. So.
Huh?
Have you ever watched it, Alex?
You have no idea.
What?
I said, look, I was curious on why people were about Boku.
So you were just curious. That's what they all say.
I was curious.
Hey, look. Hey.
Well, how about...
Look,
I bet you
browse
some crap threads on 4chan because you're curious, huh?
You ain't a cop.
Oh! Alex, we can talk... Alex, we never told the story on how we met.
I could summarize it like this. Yeah, unless you want to make it...
I want to actually, like, flesh it out. Alright. So, one night, I was sitting at home, and I had nothing to do. I was very bored. So I make a post on 4chan, boards.4chan.org/b/.
Isn't that
the Mongolian
pottery website?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a new thread on /b/. And the title, it goes something along the lines of this. I'm bored and I have no friends. Please add me on Kick. And I put my Kick username below. Now I got approximately 3 or 4 messages, and one of them is from Alex here. And Alex was like, what's wrong? Why do you hate yourself? Or something like that. Like, why don't you have any friends? And why'd you post your Kick on 4chan? And then, like, 2 other people added me, and they just called me, like, mean names. and like, sent me really shitty memes that were unfunny. So I blocked them. But Alex was something different. Because he was actually entertaining to speak to. So I was like, hey, I like this Alex fellow. Alex, tell your side of the story. Why were you on /b/ that night?
Yeah, I was just browsing the boards. I usually go on like R9, but then I stopped browsing that for a while. I was like, I want to. So I browsed through that, and I a message. It's like add me to Kick something. I can't remember that. So I went on that.
I'm just curious on why you were on /b/ at the time.
No, the thing is, I don't browse 4chan as I did like a year ago. It's when I went on 4chan, I was expecting it to be like oh, this is the reservoir, like all these memes are being made, like the naive mind I was. Like, yeah, that was.
And then you made it to be, and you realized it was just trap porn.
Yeah, it was
furry threads, and my thread.
You go on /d/ and it's like absolutely horrifying.
Well, I mean, say what you want, but Fit is still the gayest board.
Oh, also for those who /d/.
That
I don't go on
I
don't go on channel 4 anymore.
I actually do browse. Like, I just go, but when I go on it, I browse Poll, K, and Fit. Poll has just become a lot less entertaining to me, though.
Yeah, that's why that was like the only board I browsed for a while was Poll.
K can be interesting because, like, most of the people there are fanatical gun rights people, like me. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. But then you'll get, like, there's this one guy who posted something saying, guys, this is a weapons board. All the Poll people leave. We will never be racists and we will never be Trump supporters. And then some guy just referred to him with a very mean word.
What letter did the word start with?
It started with an N.
Neighbor?
It was something like that.
I think it was noob.
Probably
called him a noob.
Yeah, he probably called him a noob. Yeah, because he was a newbie to 4chan. He didn't refer to him as something much worse. Hey, who's loading their revolver in the background?
Oh, that's me.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna shoot myself after I finish editing this episode.
You should live stream it.
Oh, I will. If I ever commit suicide, you better believe I'm live streaming it. No, we never talked about the best reasons to commit suicide. So,
we did very
Krabz,
briefly.
what's your best reason to commit suicide?
Life isn't worth living, and everything is an eternal void.
Why don't we
Alex, what's your best reason to commit suicide?
I like taking a more existentialist view of life, that we don't have.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Your mic cut out, bud. Speak up if you can.
I would take a more existentialist view of life and just say that although we don't have an objective reason, we can make our own for spending time on this and find our own rather than deciding what the ultimate.
You keep cutting out, but I'm assuming you're just going along with the existentialist argument. Well, but this is the benefits of suicide.
I have a ton of reasons for suicide.
Yo, dude, I'm pleading.
Should I start going down my list?
Yeah.
Okay. Reason number 1, I go to community college. Reason number 2, I don't have any friends. Reason number 3, I'm a polysubstance addict, recovering. I no longer do drugs, and I've been sober for months.
Man,
but that's still a reason to commit suicide, because I did do drugs in the past. Reason number 4. Wait, so I did community college. I don't have a job. That's number 4. Reason number 5. I live in an unstable household, where I don't know if I'm even going to have my next meal. Because some nights I go hungry. And that's unironic. And anyone who knows me can vouch for that. I completely lost track.
You're on reason number 7.
Yeah, but I don't remember what I already went over and what I haven't.
You went on community college, not having a job, recovering.
I could pick the low-hanging fruit, but I'm not going to. Because I already made that edgy joke once.
Well, I mean, I believe if you, resolve if you resolve a bunch of...
All right, listen here, bud. No, listen to me, buddy. Okay, you can resolve these issues 2 ways. 1, you can do them the rational way, or 2, you can commit suicide.
Okay.
Now, which would you rather do? Would you rather fix your problems, or would you rather make them go away forever with one blast to the face with a shotgun?
It depends on how you want to take it.
Well, actually, no, it's not a blast to the face with a shotgun. It's a blast to the chest with a shotgun, with a chain tied around your neck, after lighting yourself on fire and jumping off of the Empire State Building, and I forgot if there was anything else to it.
Empire State Building. It's the Empire State Building.
It would just cause a bunch of grief to your,
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. You said that. Did you?
So we ain't
Alex,
cutting
that whole thing up just so
cast?
you could talk about the suicide method from last episode?
No.
Okay.
But it worked out that way, you know?
It did.
And I thought it was funny that I went back and read the descriptions of the other episodes, because I always summarize what we talk about, and about half of the description from the other episode was just suicide this, suicide bombers, suicide bomber with an orphanage, best reasons to commit suicide, best ways to commit suicide, like, if I don't remember what celebrity was a suicide bomber.
It was Christopher Lloyd.
Are we resolved with the topic?
Yeah, I think I vented enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think the viewers are calling calling a suicide hotline right now for me. But if you guys aren't already doing that,
that's just the post irony.
Yeah, that's people just don't understand.
If
you listen to this noise right here, that's not actually a revolver. That's a box cutter with a razor sharp end on it, and I've just been playing with it throughout the entire episode.
Nice. So something that I really hate. No one understands post irony. But in a way, that also kind of adds to it because to me, it's funny to watch people not get the joke.
I don't believe that's because I think I see more people starting to get it.
Like more people get it than like they did like 5 years ago. Like you see more people enjoying comedians like Sam Hyde. But still, it's still like a minority of people. Like and
child
like
actor Noah Monk.
Yeah, famous child actor Noah Monk. That's a good one. I'm glad we have him on our side. He's more appealing to the normal fags than than Sam Hyde is. Most people think he's an actual shooter.
So Krabz, I'd like to ask you a question.
All right.
I actually just forgot what the question is. I feel like a retard.
All right. I think
no, it was something that we touched on in the other episode, and Alex didn't agree with it, but I did.
Is it the Niagara Falls one?
No.
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah. Alex, I agree with Alex on the Niagara Falls question, but I think Alex is wrong.
Thank you. Best joke I've ever.
No, what I'm saying is, Alex, Comfort Collective, you're wrong. 5 quintillion paper towels would definitely soak up Niagara Falls, especially if you built it into a dam.
So we spoke about doing things unironically and ironically. And we talked about how when you do something ironically for long enough, it becomes unironic. What are your thoughts on this? Because this was a big point of discussion that we didn't agree upon.
I agree, actually. Like,
see, Alex doesn't think so. Alex thinks that if you do something ironically, like, you won't start doing it unironic. Like, it was a big point of contention. Because I say if you do something ironically for long enough, and he even said this outside of the podcast, but he denies it. He had told me if you do something ironically for long enough, I can't say it, man. If you do something ironically for
long enough,
it becomes unironic.
Yes.
Well, because here's the thing. It's like with character actors. They get so many characters. They live and breathe that character, and a lot of them have to get help after the movie is finished because they can't escape it. It stays with them because, yeah, it's not who they are, but they've stuck with it and they're part of them. So I think if you ironically like do something like playing, like you ironically do this, like, for me, something I do that's ironic a lot is I say Pol Pot was one of the greatest leaders to ever live. And I say he was great because he killed 25% of the population. And that was such a good. Obviously, that's ironic. I don't actually think that, but like after a while, if I said that day in and day out, constantly saying that Pol Pot was great, I might start. Okay, maybe Pol Pot wasn't that bad. Of course, I don't think that, but I could. If I'm playing that character for so long that it becomes a part of me. Because when you train your brain to do something and you train yourself to act a certain way, it's hard to. You can't just snap out of it. That's not really something we do. It's like whenever you train a dog.
I would also like to talk about what character in the hit TV show Rugrats do you most identify with?
I haven't watched Rugrats in well over 10 years, and even when I did watch it.
Well, do you remember which character you self-identified with? Which one did you relate to the most?
To be honest, I didn't really relate to any of them. I was more interested in SpongeBob because it's an objectively better show.
It is an objectively better show, but I don't relate to any of the characters in SpongeBob.
I also,
now the thing is, I do relate to one of the characters in Rugrats.
You do? Is it the retarded one?
I think it is actually.
Chucky? That's
yes.
His name. Okay, so you relate to Chucky?
Yes. But I won't say why.
Is it because you're retarded?
Nope, I won't say why.
Okay.
The real detectives will understand. The real Rugrats lore fiends will know. But no one else. Because I don't know if I've done this gag before, so I'm not going to redo it if I have.
You did a gag about how you relate to Chucky. I watched that because I watched all the episodes before it came out.
I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to redo it then. But I just did. And you can't do anything about it, dude.
Mm.
But do you don't remember? So who do you relate to in SpongeBob then? Anyone?
When I was younger, I really related to, honestly, SpongeBob. But I'd say as I've grown older, I relate a lot to Squidward and Mr. Krabs. I mean, I still have I think everyone has a little bit of an inner SpongeBob, where you're happy and you have this desire for childlike whimsy. And I think that if you destroy that, that's a bad thing. so I try not to do that. But as of
Yeah.
it's kind of hard. I think all the characters to each type of person, and because here's the thing: as you get older, you identify with Squidward more. Because when you're young, you think about how some guy actually did a whole video on this topic. You think about how Squidward, oh, he's so boring, he didn't want to play. But as you get older, you start to understand Squidward just wants to be left alone. And he's so anxious all the time and angry because he has these two neighbors that never leave him alone. They always want him to, and they annoy him, they break his stuff, and he just gets tired of it. He just wants to be left alone. And you have Mr. Krabs, who's just greedy. He likes money. I like money.
I like money.
Big.
Now, I would like to ask, I know that you like SpongeBob, Krabs.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the... It doesn't really relate to SpongeBob in any way other than it's on another amazing show. Have you seen Moral Oral?
Yes, I have. I have, actually.
And what are your thoughts on it? Is it a very good show or no?
I haven't seen every episode, but I saw the one where he learned about like God and making babies, so he impregnated every woman in the town.
So you've only seen season 1. You haven't seen like the full plot.
I've seen how the show ended with his dad telling him about, because his dad was an alcoholic, if I'm not mistaken. He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He was depressed, and he told his son all about it. And the show took like a really dark moral turn.
Yes,
that,
I would say watch the whole thing. Or if anything, skip through season 1 and half of season 2 and watch the second half of season 2 and season 3 if you don't have the time. It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I do.
Fucking
I do know
amazing show.
Like I know the plot and I know what it turned into. With philosophical.
I think it's really good, and I'm very disappointed that they like canceled it and it only got 3 seasons when they had 5 planned.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It's a very good show.
Dude, we have such great philosophical hits such as Richard and Mortimer. I'm a nihilist, Morty. Get it? I'm such a selfish prick and I hate God. See, look, I'm edgy and philosophical at the same time. It takes a very high IQ to understand this comedy. Sorry, I don't like nihilists.
I don't blame you. But I'm not gonna chip in any further than that.
I'm sorry, I'm getting into my gay feelings on the show again, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say gamers rise up. Hashtag make Pizzuri proud.
Gang leaders rise up!
Greetings from Egypt! I'm home alone.
I'm not. My mom is sleeping in the other room.
I got Alex just talking quietly and calmly.
I think that's how we're gonna wrap it up.
I think that I actually agree. That's a good end note. I gotta say, I'm honored to be on here as the first guest. I think we had a lot of good topics, from neo-Nazi terrorist groups to philosophical meanings hidden inside of obscene shows and children's cartoons. I'm happy with it.
Comeback out.
And
dark path.
Wait, what do you say?
I'm just saying, like, when I come back a show, that's what I envisioned.
Yeah.
It was no. It's actually pretty much the same thing we did. So it's actually like we brought it back.
So let me ask this right here, right now. Will there be an episode 4 of the Good Degenerate Collective?
Only time will tell.